Hey guys, it's Dyon here, and this is going to be an introduction to Sun Salutation B. So it's going to build on Sun Salutation A, which I've done a 15-minute video of, and I'll link that in the comments below or somewhere. So know that 30 or so minutes is really not enough time to go through everything in full detail. So this class will feel quite quick, but know that you can come back to this video for reference and use the visuals as a guide when you're going through it in your own practice. Let's get ready and I'll see you on the mat. Alright, let's begin on a comfortable seat. So shins can be crossed or one foot in front of the other. Place your hands anywhere along your legs, palms facing up, and close your eyes. Taking a deep breath in and squeezing your ears, squeezing your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you exhale, roll them back and down, letting the arms get heavy. And then bringing awareness to your jaw and creating a little bit of space there. So a little bit of space between the two sets of teeth. Then bringing awareness to your forehead, softening and relaxing that area. Then bringing awareness to your nose as we take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, open mouth as if you're fogging up a mirror in front of you. Awesome. 2 more like that. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Notice that constriction in the back of the throat. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Seal the lips and continue to breathe in and out through the nose with that gentle constriction in the back of the throat. So connecting to our Ujjayi breath really early on in the practice. As we reinforce that connection, I'm going to explain a little bit about Sun B, so you can keep your eyes closed or have a soft gaze or just open them completely. So Sun B builds on Sun A. We're going to be throwing in some chair poses. There's going to be warrior ones on both sides and more transitions back into downward facing dog. So there will be 9 breaths, 9 inhales and exhales, and 19 poses in total. It's going to feel rigorous and it's going to be quick, but we shouldn't feel rushed to get from A to B. And it's a whole body workout as well. So we're going to get sweaty. And like I said in Sun A, let's feel for the movements first, and then we'll start marrying breath with movement towards the end. And don't feel like you need to keep with the 1 breath per movement at first when we're first learning it. You can just take extra breaths if you need to, and don't hold on to the breath either, because when we do, we tend to just put tension in the jaw or somewhere else. And eventually, with more practice, it will feel like a moving meditation. So that takes time. Just be patient and we'll just crack through it together. Let's meet in a tabletop. Bring in your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Beginning to make some circles of the shoulders over the wrists. So with the transitions to downward facing dog, or even downward facing dog itself, we're going to be on our hands a lot. So it's important to warm up the hands and the wrists. Still connecting with our Ujjayi breath here. And feeling the sensations in the fingers and the palms of the hands. Let's reverse the direction. Maybe engaging into the fingers a little bit more. Pressing into the knuckles. Getting a little bit of weight into the heels of the hands. Nice. Let's bring our shoulders over our wrists and then come onto our right finger pads. So press all 5 right finger pads into the ground and then come onto your left finger pads. Then right hand down, left hand down. Right finger pads, left finger pads. Right hand down, left hand down. One more time, right finger pads, left finger pads. Right hand, left hand. Let's reverse the direction there, just waking up the arches of the fingers, left finger pads, right finger pads, left hand, right hand, left finger pads, right finger pads, left hand, right hand. One more time, left finger pads, right finger pads, left hand, right hand. Coming into some cat-cows, pressing into the hands, inhaling, lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly, gazing forwards. As you exhale, chin towards chest, belly button to spine, and pull your hips back towards your heels. So coming into a child's pose here. Inhale, shifting forwards, dropping the belly, gazing forwards, chest comes through the arms. As you exhale, belly button to spine, pull your hips back towards your heels. Knowing that child's pose is available for you at any time in the practice. Inhaling, coming forwards, curling the toes under, then stepping the right foot forwards, followed by the left into a forward fold. Okay, inhaling, lifting up halfway, so hands can be on the thighs, the shins, or fingertips on ground. As you exhale, bend the knees, coming to your forward fold again. Inhale, slowly roll up to a mountain, Tadasana. Stacking each vertebra on top of each other. When you get to the top, loop your shoulders back and down, arms alongside the body. Let's bring our feet a little bit closer together. So maybe big toes touch, a bit more space between the heels. Taking a deep breath in. We're going to be going through 5 Sun A's, so it'll be exactly the same as the Sun A video. We're going to be working towards a full Sun Salutation A, starting with the most modified first. So choose whichever variation works for you, and then if you want to progress, then follow along. Otherwise, stay with whichever variation you like. All right, so on your next inhale, let's sweep the arms up, bringing our palms shoulders distance or together, gazing at the thumbs. As you exhale, bending at the knees, hinging from the hips, forward folding. Inhale, lifting up halfway, hands on thighs, shins, or ground. Exhale, bending at the knees, placing the palms onto the ground, stepping the left foot back, followed by the right into a tabletop position. Inhale, dropping the belly, coming into our cow pose. As you exhale, coming into cat, chin towards chest, belly button in, rounding the spine. Gazing forwards, as you inhale, step the left foot forwards between the hands, followed by the right, lifting up halfway. Exhale, keeping a small bend in your knees, forward folding. Maybe swaying your neck side to side or your head side to side. Inhale, rolling up into our Urdhva Tadasana, so upward mountain, gazing up. Exhale, back to 0. All right, adding on, inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, meeting in our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening the spine forwards, gazing forwards. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping the right foot back into a plank position, followed by the left, then lowering our knees, bending at the elbows, lowering our chest and chin. Inhale, untucking the toes, snaking forwards, elbows along the chest. Exhale, curling the toes under, coming to tabletop, or making our way into our downward facing dog. If you're in downward facing dog, let's take 3 breaths here. Well, I mean, if we're in tabletop, take 3 breaths here as well. Pedal out the feet. Let's make some movement first as we settle into our downward facing dog. So you can sway your hips side to side. Pressing into the hands or 10 fingertips. A little bit more into the thumb and index side of the hand. Swaying your head side to side to relax or loosen out the neck. As you complete your exhale, gaze forwards, step 1 foot forwards, followed by the other. As you inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up, reaching up. Exhale, hands together, thumbs at the heart. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, let's meet in our forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back into our plank position. Shifting forwards, lowering the knees, bending our elbows so we're halfway lowered, and then lowering all the way down. Inhale, lifting up into our cobra, pressing the tops of the feet into the ground. Exhale, curling the toes under, coming into tabletop or downward facing dog. Continuing to move in our downward facing dog. Remember external rotation in the upper arms, so the armpits are facing down towards the ground. Pressing into our hands, so our forearms feel like they're lifting up. Belly pulls towards the spine, so lifting the hips. One more breath here, relaxing the face. Completing your exhale, gazing forwards as you inhale, stepping or jumping your way to the front, making sure you're mindful whichever way you take, lifting up halfway as you inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pressing into the feet, reaching up. Exhale, back down. Continuing to add on. Inhale, reaching both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back, shifting forwards, bending at the elbows, lowering halfway into our chaturanga, elbows in, flipping the toes. Inhale, pressing the tops of the feet into the ground, shoulders back and down, gazing forwards, upward facing dog. Exhale, lifting the hips, flipping one foot after the other, coming into a downward facing dog. So staying static in this downward facing dog. The heels are going towards the direction of the ground, but they can be lifted. I'd rather you bend your knees more so you can lengthen the spine and lift the hips up, than have a straight leg and a rounded spine. All right, belly in, bringing the floating ribs in towards the chest, gazing between the feet or the knees, or even your belly button if you can. Finding an element of softness in the face. One more breath. Exhale it out here. Gazing forward, stepping or jumping to the front, lifting up halfway as we inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pressing into the feet, reaching up. Exhale, back to zero. So full sun salutation on the next round. And we're going to be, if you want to, you can jump back to chaturanga with me. And if you're jumping back, remember to land with bent elbows. Otherwise, it'll be kind of like jumping and not landing with bent knees. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't do you any good. So common sense tells you that you just shouldn't do it. All right? Let's get ready. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jumping back. Inhale, sliding forwards into a heart opener. Exhale, lifting up into our downward facing dog. 3 breaths here, holding a static down dog. Breathing all the way to the belly. Pulling the belly button towards the spine, lifting the hips higher. Fixed gaze, steady breaths, strong foundation. Last breath in and out. Gazing forwards, looking where you're going, stepping or jumping to the front of the mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up upward facing mountain, exhale, back to mountain. All right, so we're going to be moving into our Sun Bs with a modification at first, and we'll feel our way there. And remember the transitions you used in Sun A back to downward facing dog, and just apply those when we are working through our Sun Salutation B. So gazing down, again bringing our big toes to touch, big bit of space between the heels. On your next inhale, let's squeeze the legs towards each other, sending the hips back, reaching the arms forwards and up, coming into our chair pose, one of my favorite poses. I say favorite, it's probably one of my least. So we're sending our hips back, squeezing the legs towards each other. All right, reaching the arms up, bringing the belly button in, and our floating ribs, the bottom ribs, tend to flare out and exaggerate the lower back curve. So I'm going to exaggerate it now. I want to be bringing them in so our spine is lengthened. And you might feel a shake or a lot of shake. That's perfectly normal. Send the weight a little bit further back towards the heels. Take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, let's straighten the legs and forward fold. Whew. Right, inhale, lifting up halfway. And you know this part, we're going to transition back to downward facing dog, however you like. On our exhale. Inhale, coming into a heart opener. Exhale, rolling back or transitioning back into our tabletop or downward facing dog. On your next inhale, gaze forwards. We're going to be stepping the right foot next to the right thumb. All right, and then lowering the back knee down, keeping the toes tucked under or flat to the ground. Let's bring both hands onto the right knee and press ourselves up. So we're lifting the chest up, bringing the front knee over the front ankle and making sure that the knee is in line with the second toe and the hip is in line with the knee. Bring your hands onto your hips, pulling the right hip back, left hip forwards, and then let's lower the hips or send the hips forwards and back. So we're coming out of the pose a little bit in this crescent lunge, making sure when we're shifting forwards, we're not bringing our right knee too far forwards past the right toes. All right, we're getting into our left hip flexors a bit here. Making sure we're pressing into the right heel, keeping that foot engaged. All right, let's come back up, bringing front knee over front ankle, pulling right hip back, left hip forwards, reaching both arms forwards and up, lowering the shoulders away from the ears. So hands again can be shoulders distance apart or palms together, gazing at the thumbs, taking a deep breath in, reaching up a little bit more. As you exhale, let's lower the hands down, planting the hands, framing the front foot, curling the back toes under if they're not already, lifting the back knee up, transitioning back to downward facing dog. So lowering knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, half chaturanga, however you like. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Let's take a breath here and reset. Complete your exhale, then gaze forwards and we'll come to the other side. Inhale, step the left foot forwards next to the left thumb. So you can take multiple steps here, coming onto your fingertips, then bringing your hands onto your front knee, pressing your chest up, pulling your left hip back, right hip forwards. Hands onto the hips as we shift forwards and back a few times. So loosening out the right hip flexor, getting a feel for letting the hips facing forwards and the chest facing forwards. If you've got sensitive knees, you might want to pad up your bottom knee. Otherwise, gaze forwards and we'll shift forwards and back a couple more times before bringing our front knee over our front ankle. Hip is in line with knee, which is in line with toe. Reaching both arms forwards and up, gazing up at the thumbs. Take a deep breath in here. As you exhale,
lower the hands down, lift the back knee up, front foot meets the back, and let's transition to downward facing dog with the breath. In our downward facing dog, we'll just take 2 breaths here. And if you need to come down to your knees, come into a child's pose, feel free to. It can get a little bit heavy on the hands, so you can roll out your wrists if you need to. We'll be linking breath with movement on the next round. So as you complete your exhale, gaze forwards. Inhale, stepping, hopping, or jumping your way to the front, feet together. Exhale, forward fold. Bending at the knees, squeezing the thighs towards each other, reaching the arms forwards and up, coming back into our favorite chair pose. As you exhale, press into the feet, come back to 0 in our Tadasana. All right, let's try this with breath with movement. Getting ready. On your next inhale, squeezing the legs towards each other, Utkatasana, chair pose, gazing forwards or at the thumbs. As you exhale, belly in, as you bring your belly towards your thighs, forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway, gazing forwards. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back, transitioning to downward facing dog. Inhale for a heart opener. Exhale, lifting the hips high towards the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, gazing forwards, stepping the right foot forwards, lowering the back knee down, reaching the arms forwards and up. So this is all one inhale, so it can be a lot. As you exhale, planting the hands, stepping the front foot to meet the back, lowering down towards the ground or halfway. Inhaling into a heart opener. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gazing forwards on your next inhale, step the left foot forwards, lowering the back knee down, reaching the arms forwards and up. Exhale, framing the front foot. Front foot meets the back, transitioning back to downward facing dog. Inhaling, heart opener. Exhaling, back, downward facing dog. So the transitions are quick and swift. Don't worry if you are taking it at a slower pace or you're taking multiple breaths. That's perfectly normal. Let's take one more breath here. Pressing into the hands, lifting the forearms, softening the face. Exhale here, gazing forwards, stepping or jumping our way to the front. Lifting up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, coming into our chair pose, squeezing the legs towards each other, gazing up, pressing into the feet, coming to Tadasana. Let's come into a full Sun Salutation B, which we're just feeling the way through this first round. So don't worry about the breath, just focus on the pose. All right, squeezing the legs towards each other as we inhale, reaching the arms forwards and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, let's make our way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, a heart opener. Exhale, coming back. Downward facing dog. Gazing forwards, inhale, step the right foot forwards next to the right thumb. Turn the back heel down so the left heel comes down to the ground and come onto our fingertips. If you look down to the ground, should be around heel to heel alignment. So if you draw a line from the right heel back, that's what we mean by heel to heel alignment. Press into the front foot, lift your chest up, coming into our warrior one. So this can feel like you're in a tight rope. So you might want to heel toe your right foot out to the side a bit more so you're widening out your stance. Bring your hands onto your hips, straighten the front leg, and again bend and straighten it a few times, making sure you're not bringing your front knee past your front toes. Back foot is engaged. And the hips are slightly open out to the side. There is an emphasis of squaring your hips forwards, but mine are naturally open out to the sides a little bit. So don't worry about getting them too much facing forwards. But we want the upper chest and the shoulders to be facing forwards. All right, let's bring our front knee over our front ankle, pressing into the front heel, pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. Sweeping the arms forwards and up, gazing up. Inhale, lift your upper chest up a little bit more. As you exhale, lower the hands down, lift the back heel off the ground. Planting the hands, front foot meets the back. Let's transition to downward facing dog in whichever variation that works for you. Inhaling a heart opener. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips high. Gazing forwards on our next inhale, stepping your left foot forwards. Again, turning your back heel down, pressing into the front heel, sweeping the arms forwards and up, lifting the chest, then hands onto hips, straighten and bend. Adjusting your stance if you need to, so maybe widening your stance by bringing your left foot out to the side a little bit more. That helps bring you out so you're not just on one tightrope. You've got two kind of railroad tracks here, helping you balance. Let's bring our front knee over our front ankle, reaching the arms forwards and up. Coming into a warrior one. Chest is facing forwards, engaged back foot. As you exhale, lower the hands down to the ground, lifting the back heel up. Front foot meets the back. Exhale, lowering down. Inhaling a heart opener. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, and we'll transition back to our mountain pose before we link breath with movement. Reconnect with your Ujjayi breath. Getting ready to get back to Tadasana. Looking forwards as you complete your exhale. Inhale, stepping forwards or jumping forwards, lifting up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. We meet in Utkatasana as we inhale, gazing at the thumbs, pressing into the feet as we exhale, Tadasana. All right, game time. Let's get to breath with movement. Inhale, reaching forwards, sending the hips back. Exhale, straightening the legs, forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway, gazing forwards. Exhale, stepping back and lowering down. Inhale, lifting up into a heart opener. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale, stepping the right foot forwards, lowering the back heel down, sweeping the arms forwards and up. Quick transition here, but you can do it. Exhale, lowering the hands down, lifting the back heel up, lowering down. Inhale, a heart opener, pressing into the tops of the feet, pulling the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Looking forwards, inhale, stepping the left foot forwards, turning the back heel down, pressing up, reaching up, warrior one. Exhale, framing the front foot, lifting the right heel up, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra or cow. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking 2 breaths here. One. And that's 2. Gazing forward, stepping or jumping our way there. Lifting up halfway as we inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, meeting in Utkatasana. Exhale, pressing into the feet, coming into Tadasana. Awesome stuff. Let's coming into a forward fold and then bending at the knees, lowering the hips down to the ground. Coming onto a comfortable seat. Taking a few moments to just roll out the wrists. You can open and close your hands a few times. So the downward facing dogs and the transitions before and after really take a toll on your hands and your wrists if you don't rest that much weight on them on your day-to-day life. So a little bit of love and care to the wrists is always good. Reverse the direction of the circles if you haven't done so already. And then relax the hands down and loop your shoulders a few times. They can feel a bit tight as well with the chaturangas or the cobras. And you can close your eyes, roll out the neck a few times. So go in one direction, doing just half neck rolls or full neck rolls, whichever version you feel more comfortable and supported with. And then reverse the direction of it. Enjoying any pops and cracks. It's definitely tension relieving along the neck. Doing these circles. And then bring your head over your shoulders with your eyes closed. Take a few breaths, just being still. Relaxing control of the breath. Just allowing it to flow in and out naturally. Maybe noticing the sensations of the body, your heart beating a little faster than before. Any sensations on the skin. Know that things definitely take time, and accept your practice where you are at today. So whichever variation you took, might be different tomorrow, might be the day after. So let's be content with what it was today. Slowly bring your awareness to the lights, shapes and colors behind your eyes. And open your eyes to a soft gaze. I hope that was a good introduction to Sun B. There's obviously more intricacies and details in it, but there's only so much I can fit in half an hour. So maybe I'll do another one at another point where we go into a little bit more. And just know that, again, things take time and practice. So yeah, let's just be content with where we are at today and keep practicing. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.